So, you've already heard the news. We're going to talk about it for a little while, and we're going to talk about what's coming up next, possibly for the Tennessee Titans, after the intro. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bonafide, and this is Section 240, a channel all about the Tennessee Titans, but from a fan's perspective. So, if you've been under a rock, you probably missed this news. But if not, you have finally come to terms with that Kevin Byard was traded to, yes, the Philadelphia Eagles for a 5th and a 6th round pick and safety Terrell Edmunds, who used to play for the Steelers. Now, this is really, tell you the truth, one of the first trades that, while it kind of stings, I get it. Now, the AJ Brown trade that I talked about in this video is definitely not on the same caliber as the trade that we have for Kevin Byard. We started hearing reports and started hearing rumors, and this is all straight off the dome. I didn't even script this. I'm just giving you raw emotion. So this is raw Bonafide. But anyway, rumors started to come out last week about, after the game that we lost to the Ravens in London, about who would be on the trading block. Now, you got a lot of different opinions, different views from this thing. Should have been a blow up instead of trying to glow up. Should have been a really complete tear down and then try to rebuild from there. But I think, Rand and Mike went with, I think we're still competitive. Let's give it one last shot. And we've saw how that's gone thus far. It hasn't been pretty. We're basically 2-4 right now, last in the AFC South, and the starting quarterback is hurt again. And we're at a crossroads. It is what it is. So it looks like, one of the first, steps to this rebuild was to basically get younger in our secondary. KB was turning 70. He's turning 30. And it seemed, if you were watching this play, that he might have lost a step or two here. He wasn't that same dynamic, playmaker that we had grown to love over his 8 years here in Tennessee. Right now, quarterbacks targeting him had a 72% completion rate. He had no interceptions. Hooker, his safety teammate, has already had 2 and a fumble recovery, so weren't getting turnovers from him. It just seemed like, we could kind of tell that the writing was on the wall that he might be a candidate to be released. Like I said, the reports that were coming out were that, people weren't getting calls about Derrick Henry, which I could kind of understand because, if they're going to give up Derrick Henry, they're probably going to be asking for a price, that may not be comparable for what people think Derrick Henry is still worth, but that's another day for another topic, things like that. We're talking about Kevin. Kevin, in this particular step, they were getting calls about Kevin Byard and Treylon Burks. So I figured Treylon Burks would probably still stay here no matter what I think about him. And Kevin Byard may have been the best player outside of Christian Fulton, who would have had some value if we traded him. And it looks like it came to pass. The Eagles needed a safety. Reed Blankenship, who is their safety, looks like he's going to be out for a couple more weeks, or he's been out for a couple of games, and they were looking for some safety depth. And what better team to get safety depth from than the Tennessee Titans? At least I believe that's what's written on the wall up there in Philly, because they treat the Tennessee Titans like a farm team. Because earlier in the week, they signed Julio Jones. Yes, that Julio Jones that played for us and, disappeared when he got signed here. So, and then, they got Marcus Mariota. Yes, that Marcus Mariota as the backup quarterback to Jalen Hurts. And, they got AJ Brown. Also, they have Zach Cunningham, former linebacker for us that we picked up from Houston and played for us for a little while. Now he's up there. So it's like, it's a whole bunch of old Titans up there. So they picked them up. And like I said, if you were watching the game, now, if you go on Twitter, you'll see all of these national pundits say, oh yeah, I can't believe Tennessee let an all-pro player go for scraps. Yeah, I don't really think that was what happened. 5th and 6 is probably the best that we could have gotten. And I think Spotrac has a tweet. I'll probably put it up here if I can find it, where they talked about how these 2 picks that we got, which, funny as it may be, one of the picks is one of the picks we gave to Philadelphia for Ugo Amadi. Yes, remember that guy, Ugo Amadi? Yeah, we gave them a pick, and this is ultimately coming back to us. So it's like we're getting back what we gave away earlier. But yeah, it says these 2 picks kind of equal up to be like a mid-third round, like a 76 pick. So if you put them all together. So, we were hurting for draft capital, things like that. We needed picks, if we're going to start this rebuild, things like that. So yeah, KB, I appreciate his time here. He was a great player. When he was at his peak and at his prime, he was a great player. Really good ball hawk. I'll never forget that game against the Dallas Cowboys where he picked off Dak Prescott multiple times, and then he went and did the TO in the middle of the star. I'll never forget that. He was a good community guy. Always, he was seen as a leader on the team. So this is kind of why it stings. But from a football perspective, you can kind of see why they did it. We got Molden, we got Hooker. I think we have Shaheem Carter, and we just re-signed Dane Cruikshank. So those safeties are there. So we'll see how it goes. Now, he's gone, and we picked up Terrell Evans. I know he used to play for the Steelers. I don't know really too much about him. I'll probably do more when we do the preview for this game coming up against the Falcons on Thursday or Friday when we drop that. But I don't know too much about him. But yeah, honestly, I think this is it. I don't think they're trading any more players. Going back to my earlier point when I said we saw the writing on the wall. Well, remember in the offseason, KB didn't want to take a pay cut. And Rand and them, it was kind of public that, Rand and them were asking him to take a pay cut restructure. Now, at that particular point, I didn't feel like he needed to, but, given his play may have been the right thing to do. He ultimately, agreed to some kind of restructure, and that allowed us the opportunity to get DeAndre Hopkins. So, but I think, once you start seeing those kind of discourses play out in public, it's only a matter of time, especially if the team isn't performing well, that, parties are going to break up. But, that's the nature of the business. We love him. He'll always be remembered as a Titan. I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about him as a community man, things like that. But that's the nature of the game. But like I said, I think that's it. I don't think anybody else is getting traded. I'd be shocked if anybody else gets traded before the end, before the trade deadline comes up. But who knows? Things like that. But like I said, just wanted to make a video talking about KB. Appreciate him. Appreciate all his efforts. But hey, it is what it is. And let's see what comes up next. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. We're so close to 500 subscribers. I can literally smell it. Like you can smell that Hattie B's or Prince's or Bowden's or wherever you get your hot chicken in Nashville. You can smell it. I can smell the 500 subscribers. So once we get to 500 subscribers, we're gonna kick off our 1K giveaway. We might have a giveaway at 750 subscribers, but definitely on 1K, we're gonna be giving away those throwbacks, which we happen to be wearing this week at our next home game against the Falcons. So yeah, excited about that. Hopefully we don't get our butts whooped in the new threads. But like I said, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about the channel because there's plenty of room in the section for them all. But until then, tighten up.